G'day guys, and welcome back to the channel. In today's video, I'm going to be showing off the new Square connector for GS Pro. Now what's exciting is Square is no longer using the OpenAPI interface to connect to GS Pro. Originally, you had to have the OpenAPI license, and then you also had to use a third-party connector built by Square to feed the data into GS Pro. What's amazing now is that Square has officially integrated with GS Pro, and they now have a standalone connector for GS Pro. What this means is now the Square is going to be eligible for money matches in GS Pro, and it's going to take the hassle out of having to use the third-party connector to actually feed the information into GS Pro. Now keep in mind, this connector is still in beta, so there may be some instances where I drop connection, or there may be some instances where it misreads. Be aware of that, the connector is still in beta. Right, let me get my Square set up, and I use this all the time. This was sent to me by Gert or Simply 3D Prints. I'll link them in the description, but I use this all the time to actually get my Square to the perfect distance where I want the unit to be and where I want my hitting area to be. It just makes it so easy connecting this up and then going, I want my hitting area to be there so I can use my putting strip off to the side. And so I know that that is now in the correct location. However, I do have to get this thing aligned. And what I want to check today is, do we still get the alignment option in this connector? Because to me, that was huge. When they added the alignment feature to their third-party connector, that was just amazing. And I really hope we still have that option in this new GS Pro connector, fingers crossed. So this is my first time actually seeing this Square beta connector, so we're going to go through this together. Okay, so jumping into GS Pro, you can see that I have the Pro T connector there. So I'm going to clear the settings, then I'm going to go into settings. I'm going to navigate to system, and then I'm going to go reset GS Pro Connect. I'm going to change my license type, and that is going to open up a web page. This is the web page. I'm going to drop down this menu, and I'm going to select the Square, which is currently in beta, as you can see. I'm going to convert my license, and now the license has been converted to the Square license. So I can cancel out of this web page now. And then when I get back to GS Pro, I'm going to hit Reset GS Pro Connect. Now, because this is the first time I'm actually using the Square license, I do actually need to bomb out of GS Pro and get back into it for it to actually show the actual license there. So we'll just wait for GS Pro to load again. And it should pop up now with the option. Okay, so I had trouble getting the connector to actually show the Square. So what I've done is I've launched GS Pro, the launcher, and I've selected force download the latest version. It looks like there is a version that's downloading. So I was already on 3.1.1, but it looks like it's re-downloading that version. So hopefully, once I do this, it will actually pop up and show me the option to launch the Square official connector. So fingers crossed. All I was seeing in the actual GS Pro API was just the calibration tool. So hopefully this gives me the option to actually show the Square unit. Fingers crossed. If it doesn't, then I'm going to do some additional troubleshooting and hopefully get it working. But yeah, we'll see how we go. All right, moment of truth. Hopefully we see the Square pop up. And there it is. So I had to force update GS Pro, and that has worked. Now when I click on this Square, it will come up with the connector, and there it is. That's fantastic. All right, well, just wait for GS Pro to do its thing. It looks like the Square is attempting to connect. Like I said, this is the first time I haven't done anything, and it looks like it's connected all by itself without me doing anything. So that is really cool to see. I'll just let GS Pro load, and then we'll walk through the connector. Okay, so GS Pro's finished loading. What I've got to say is I love how easy this was to set up. Yes, I had that troubleshooting, but hopefully that helps someone else that's struggling actually getting the actual connector to pop up. Like I said, this is in beta, so it will get better and better. Straight off the bat, though, I love the connector. You do get indications if you're placing the ball or if there's a ball there. So if I put a ball in the location, you should see it light up pretty quick. And it goes to ready, which is really good. If I just chip a shot, we'll get the actual data come through, and you can see it's instant, which is really good to see. Let's look through this connector, because the biggest thing that I want is the ability to align the unit within the connector. That's what was so amazing about the Square connector that fed into the Open API. So let's walk through. You've got an option to disarm the unit, so we can hit that. That's going to disarm the unit, and then you can arm the unit. I don't know why that's there, but you can do it. You do have the option to get your visual data. So like with every connector in GS Pro, even the Open API, you can get the advanced view. And so there you can see the advanced view. Now, if I was to hit a shot, I think with the connector or with GS Pro, driver is the default club. So right now, because I'm not on the driving range, it's going to have the driver as the default club. So you might get some weird visuals here, but I'll try hit a shot. Now it's not locking onto the ball for some reason. What have I done? Placing ball. Let me just go to the practice range and let me see if that makes any difference. Okay, I know what the problem is. It's kicked over to left-handed mode. That's what's happened. So with GS Pro, if you're not on the driving range, it's not telling the unit what hand you're in. So I'll show you in a minute, because that's a got ya. So see how it's changed to right hand now? That is getting fed from this right hand that you can see in the bottom corner. So if I bring the connector back up and I change that to left hand, now you can see in the connector, it's expecting the ball to be in the other location, the left-hand location. So let's select right-handed. We'll aim down the actual driving range, and then we'll select an 8-iron. I'm just going to do a few chip shots. But there's the connector, so it's ready to go. It's locked onto the ball. It is really quick. You do have your visual data. So I'll show you a shot with that visual data, just so you get an idea. And that advanced view is on every single connector in GS Pro, this advanced view. So you can pop this out on any connector, even the Open API. It has impact location, but we know that Square doesn't do that. So if I was to tow it, it would still show on this connector that it's out the middle. But that's the advanced view. Going into settings, because what I'm looking for the alignment tool, and I don't think that I see it, which is, we'll see if it's in the next tab. So in this tab, you've got the option to select club or swing stick. To me, I just don't like this. And I can see why. It's fun. It's fun to have the swing stick as an option. The issue with this is, like it says below, note the swing stick is not allowed in simulator golf tournaments. I hope that SGT, and I'm sure they do have a way of verifying that people aren't actually using the swing stick. I really hope they can. I'm sure they can now that this is an official connector. So that's probably one of the advantages to this official connector. So we'll select club. I can't see an alignment tool. We'll go to help, and you've got connection. If your Square device is charged in range, refuses to attempt, and then we've got ball placement. So unfortunately, there is no option in this official connector yet to do alignment. And I say yet because this is in beta. This connector is in beta, so give it time. I'm really hoping that this connector will get the alignment tool back, because to me, I mean, that was the best thing about the Square one, the third-party Square one that used Open API, was they just built that alignment tool into it. So now, if you use this official connector at the moment, you're going to have to hook it up to your iPad or phone, do your alignment, get into GS Pro. So it's just one extra step. And also, if I, accidentally knock my unit, now it's not aligned. So it's just an additional step that it will get frustrating. And I know if I use this unit, I'd get annoyed, because if I'm playing in a tournament and I accidentally bump it, even if I've only moved it a degree, a degree can make a big difference, especially with putting. So I would love to see the alignment tool come back into this connector. So fingers crossed it does. But I'll leave the window up so you guys can see it. We'll just hit a few 8-irons. You can see how quick it is to register a shot and send it into the GS Pro world. Now, I know a lot of people as well, they ask, does this connector do putting? It absolutely does. So at the moment, we've got 8-iron selected. I'll just go down there. I'll bring the green to me and I'll chuck a ball down on this green. Now this stimp at the moment, let me just check the stimp. The stimp is set to 6. So we'll bump that up a little bit and we'll just hit a couple of putts. Now, because I'm on the putting green now, you can see that the putter is selected and that's what needs to be selected for putting to work or work well. So we'll select putter and so we'll hit a few putts just to show this is working. So we've got 11 feet. And as you can see, putting still works. A couple of things with this connector though. What I will say is we don't have the audible sound, the audible ready sound, and we also don't have the actual indicator on screen showing that the unit is ready. So usually when you put a ball down in GS Pro, the actual arrows down there at the bottom of the screen will turn green, or with the square connector, you can get it to say ready. And so, you know, or you get the actual, you know, ding to let you know the unit's ready. You don't really have any indications other than the green light on the unit itself that the unit is ready for a shot and connected to GS Pro. So hopefully we get that oral indication back, or we get the actual, you know, green indication lines on GS Pro. We'll just hit another putt. And that was much better. Now, I've got to remember that I don't have that thing aligned. So I've aligned it to the best I can visually, but realistically, we need the alignment tool back. Okay, so amazing to see Square now officially integrate with GS Pro with the official connector. However, it is still in beta. This thing's going to get better and better. A couple of things straight off the bat. We need the indications to go green, and then we also need the option to have that oral indication. If some people like it, some people like that little ding to let you know that it's ready. And to be honest, I kind of like that as well. When you've got a unit like the Square where the hitting area is still quite big, but it's not massive, I do like to have that oral indication to let me know that yes, the ball is in the correct spot and I'm ready to go. The other thing is, I mean, we need the alignment tool back in that connector. We need it back. Without that, it's a massive pain, especially if you nudge your monitor. It's a massive pain to have to hook it back up to the other application and then hook it back up to GS Pro. Give us the tool back in that connector, please. If anyone's watching this from Square, please give us that tool back in the connector. All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed that quick video. Great news for GS Pro, great news for Square, and all Square owners that we now have an official connection for GS Pro. If you enjoyed that, please like the video, subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Cheers.